Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a fantastic Sunday evening. Hope you've had a good day. Hope you've had a good week. Hope you've had a good weekend. Hope you're all enjoying your Sunday evening as well. First of all, do me a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to always remember notification bell. Put that button on at all times to receive dedicated brand new videos, shorts, live streams, and much more brand new stuff throughout the rest of this year in 2024. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Premier League final score. Welcome to the Premier League reaction between Aston Villa and Manchester United. Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 2. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. What a dramatic finish and a dramatic conclusion at Villa Park this evening. Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 2. 3 Premier League wins in a row. 5 games unbeaten now for Manchester United in all competitions. So far, an unbeaten year. We have not lost a game so far in 2024, which obviously is huge progress under Erik ten Hag. Another dramatic finish to another dramatic Premier League game that Manchester United always seem to get themselves involved in. Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 2. Scott McTominay to the rescue, wins all 3 points, secures United all 3 points as well. What a dramatic finish to this Premier League weekend it has been. When you thought, Aston Villa, get the equaliser, you think to yourself, here we go again. You think to yourself, could this get any worse? Are Manchester United capable of still winning this game? 85th minute. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay. What a dramatic finish. 85th minute and Scott McTominay heads in the winner for Manchester United. I honestly don't believe how much, the goals Scott McTominay has scored this season, and how many times he has popped up for Manchester United in important stages and phases of a Premier League game. How many more times is Scott McTominay going to keep on scoring for this club? Because at the minute, eventually, there's going to be a way that Scott McTominay forces himself back in this Man United team, because I thought United today, first half, we were the better team. I'm not going to be afraid to admit it. Aston Villa lately have not been the team that I thought they were. 2 big defeats in one single week for Aston Villa in the FA Cup and now in the Premier League. And Unai Emery now is finally getting found out. I did say this would happen. I did say Aston Villa at times, today, especially in the second half, they were the better team. But I thought Manchester United, in the end, deserve all 3 points. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. I think today was a huge step forwards towards, top 4 is still on. Champions League football is still very much on as well. Manchester United now, I think, can turn this Premier League season around. I think now the confidence has returned. The goals we're scoring is an important way to get Manchester United progressing up the pitch. And I think all of a sudden, the players look a lot more hungry. There seems to be a lot more desire at the moment as well. Something has happened at Manchester United in the last few weeks, which so far I'm quite happy with. So far, we've not lost a game in 2024. And I honestly did not expect us to be sat here with 3 points today, because Aston Villa, fair credit to them, did absolutely batter Manchester United in that second half. Villa were miles the better team. were absolutely pressing Manchester United even more back than what they did in the first half. And I think, the first goal was really, really important to that. I think, again, Rasmus Højlund can't stop scoring in a Man United shirt, which is fantastic. I think that's 5 goals now in 5 games, 11 goals in all competitions for Rasmus Højlund now, which, again, he can't stop scoring. I mean, what a fantastic young striker and potential world-class striker Manchester United have found. I mean, it's amazing to think now how many critics and how many pundits and how many, people that thought Rasmus Højlund wasn't good enough. I think now a lot of people are eating a lot of humble pie because 5 goals in 5 games, 11 goals this season for Rasmus Højlund, and he can't stop scoring. And I think, more goals will come at the feet of Rasmus Højlund. I mean, his positioning for the first goal just keeps himself onside. I mean, the return of Harry Maguire, you always get concerned about where Manchester United defensively are going to be able to keep a clean sheet from. You worry without Lisandro Martinez next to Varane that Manchester United defensively are going to go a lot more backwards, a lot more goals will be conceded. But fair play to Maguire from the Villa free kick, from the United free kick to the United corner, which led to the opening goal. Fair play to Harry Maguire for getting that assist to get Rasmus Højlund basically kept on an onside position. Rasmus Højlund unmarked, one-on-one with Martinez and taps it in for a very, very easy 1-0 lead for Manchester United. And I wish we could have built on that lead in the first half because we were absolutely battering Aston Villa. Like, I honestly expected a lot more harder game. I expected Unai Emery's side to give that Man United team an absolute test. I don't think Aston Villa lately are very good. I don't know what's happened to Aston Villa, but I ain't going to complain because Manchester United keep finding results. They keep finding wins. And that's 3 Premier League wins in a row now. That's 9 points out of 9. That is not bad going considering where we were in 2023. Top 4 now is very much still alive. Champions League football is still now very alive. Man United are going to turn this season around. I don't know how at the moment where we were from last year to this year. This Man United team all of a sudden looks up for it. And maybe, the injuries we've had in recent weeks hasn't really helped. Maybe that is why we've really, really struggled to get this team free flowing. That's maybe why United have really struggled to keep the pace with, Newcastle and Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool and Tottenham. Maybe that's why we've really, really struggled. But today, I think, in the first half, that Man United team were all over Villa. Like Aston Villa could not get out their own half. Man United were pestering them with every attack, with every counter-attack. Aston Villa couldn't cope today. And I've seen Villa play a lot better football than what I've witnessed today. I've seen Aston Villa absolutely, rip teams apart. I've seen Ollie Watkins score hat-tricks. I've seen Aston Villa destroy teams like Sheffield United 5-0. I've seen them play very, very well in the Europa Conference League in their group. And, to qualify as group winners is, excellent for the progress for Villa in the European competition. But since the FA Cup in midweek, that Aston Villa team's collapsed. That Aston Villa team is shit. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. Crap. They have got really nothing going forward except Ollie Watkins. They haven't really got a threat on the left wing. Don't really have a threat on the right wing. Leon Bailey, again, very, very inconsistent for Aston Villa. Diaby seems to be requireless to the bench. Ollie Watkins is their best source of goals. And from their midfield, if you keep John McGinn quiet, you've basically got Douglas Luiz. And that is it. And when the Villa equaliser goes in, you think to yourself, well, it looks like the winning unbeaten run is going to end because soon as Aston Villa get that equaliser, which again, I don't know what, Gary Neville is waxing lyrical over, but I thought defensively today, we were very, very poor. I thought Manchester United should have been defending a lot better. We should not be conceding the goals we're conceding. Defensively, the howlers and the mistakes and the errors that we make in that back four is quite evidential to the proof that the Aston Villa goal, the lead up to it, Man United don't clear their penalty area. Aston Villa are pestering that Man United penalty area with every cross and every pass that they can make. Manchester United could not get the ball out. And for me, that was very, very frustrating because soon as that starts happening, I think you know what's going to happen. The Aston Villa will equalise. And that's exactly what happened. And what annoys me, it's from the first to the second, from the first goal to the Villa equaliser, Douglas Luiz has been completely and utterly left unmarked in our penalty area. I mean, I don't know who's marking him, but he's been allowed to get a free shot on goal. No one's around him. No one's trying to close the shot down. Onana is sealed to the spot and he can't move. And he's probably thinking that Douglas Luiz is going to maybe pull it to his right or sky over. But he's put it top bins. He's got the equaliser and he's put it top right-hand corner. And the equaliser goes in. And then all of a sudden, the Man United team are looking at each other thinking, how the fuck have we allowed this to happen when we've been the better team in the first half? We're dominating the game. We're creating the most chances. Yes, we didn't take our chances again, which again is going to be a major, major frustration for Erik ten Hag, because if we could have built on that 1-0 lead, this game could have been done by half-time. I don't know why Villa made it look so easy for Man United in that first half, but the Aston Villa team, I look at their starting 11, I think, do you know what? They have got players that can do a job. They've got players that can do damage to the opposition. And I think United prevented that operation from being, from the starting block. If you keep John McGinn quiet, he won't cause you problems. If you can keep Leon Bailey quiet, he ain't going to cause you any problems. Diaby, can't understand why he's not in that Villa team because he's literally their best player. If you can keep Ollie Watkins' goal scoring threat, which was prevented today through our back four, then Aston Villa will not cause Manchester United a lot of problems. And I think today that is a positive, but it's just disappointing that the goal for the Aston Villa equaliser, if you leave a player like Douglas Luiz unmarked in your penalty area, there is more likely an equaliser is going to come. And as soon as that ball went in, I start fearing the worst. Like, you think to yourself, well, if we don't win this game, we are still 8 points off Villa. We are still trying to chase European football. We're still trying to get Champions League football for next season again, which again now looks very, very high probability that we still might achieve that, which again is excellent for Manchester United to somehow turn this so-called Premier League season around, because it has been at times very, very disappointing. It's had its highs, it's had its lows, and I worried that Aston Villa was going to be a step too far for us today. I look at the quality from Aston Villa from the West Ham game last weekend. I think Aston Villa it's night and day between them and West Ham United, especially what happened between West Ham and Arsenal at London Stadium Day, where Arsenal ripped West Ham a new arsehole by smacking them 6-0. The quality is night and day between Villa and West Ham. And I think that Villa quality today was lacking a lot. I don't know what's going wrong at Villa, but all of a sudden now, Unai Emery, that's 2 big defeats in a row. You're out the FA Cup. You've still got the Europa Conference League, and you've still got potentially of getting Europa League football again for next season, or Europa Conference League football again. But it depends how far Aston Villa get in the Europa Conference League. There's no guarantee that they're going to survive long in that competition, and there's no guarantee that they're going to get through to the latter stages of it. But in the Premier League, at one point, Aston Villa were second. They were third. They were fourth. And now it looks like maybe Aston Villa have suffered burnout. Maybe Aston Villa have taken their foot off the gas. Maybe what Unai Emery's trying to get them to do week after week, game after game, maybe the pressure that those players are under from the instructions of Unai Emery, maybe they're worn out. Maybe the squad's fatigued. Maybe the squad tired. But it just that Aston Villa team didn't cause the problems I thought they'd cause Manchester United today. I thought maybe Leon Bailey would be a bit of a threat. If Diaby starts, you've got two pacey wingers on Aston Villa's left and right-hand side. And if you've got Ollie Watkins down the middle, if you can get the ball to him and provide him the service, that could be a problem. I think the midfield, Aston Villa's midfield to an extent, is, very, very strong. I think, Zaniolo, I don't know why he wasn't starting for Villa today. I think he's been an absolute standout star player for Villa this season. John McGinn is basically the ringleader to keep that midfield solid. And Douglas Luiz is the high-pressing Villa midfield player that gets more forward with the ball more than the others. I think today, the way United managed to get the lead, fair play to Rasmus Højlund again for getting another goal. Puts Man United on the upward steps of the confidence being built and the morale being, well, let's try and finish this off. But if we would have took our chances in the first half, Manchester United, we might have had this game done by half time, and we did have a lot of chances. We had so many more opportunities to put that game away. It could have been 2-3, 4-0 in the first half, the way Man United were just pinging the ball about. It was so easy at times to watch Manchester United dominate that Aston Villa first half. It was so easy, and I don't think Villa were helping because the amount of defensive mistakes, the amount of errors at the back. Without Konza, they don't look really solid. Diego Carlos looks a bang average centre back. Alex Moreno, who played under Unai Emery at Villarreal, doesn't look like that's worked. Matty Cash, again, maybe he's being found out a bit now at Aston Villa at right back. Emiliano Martinez, he can't stop the first goal. It's an easy tap in for Højlund to make it 1-0. And I'm glad he kept himself onside, because I think if Højlund would have stepped a bit further beyond the Aston Villa player who was keeping him onside, that goal gets ruled out by VAR. The goal is offside and you're headed into half-time 0-0. So I think the first goal was a telltale sign of that United, again, were just going to get over the finish line. And I think for me, like I said, if we built on that lead, the game's done by half-time. We could have rotated in the second half. We didn't want to do that because we knew Aston Villa were going to come out in the second half and try and get a result, try and get a point, and try not to lose this game. And like I said, about the Villa equaliser, if you leave a player like Douglas Luiz unmarked in your penalty area, he is more likely to score than not. Defensively, I think second half we were shocking. And I think Gary Neville, to an extent, was right about Luke Shaw. I don't know what has happened to Luke Shaw today, which is a bit of a concern, because if he's gone off injured again, well, I did tell you so about Luke Shaw, and they've given him a brand new 5-year contract. If he's gone off injured again, which again is a big, big blow, especially with Martinez also now out injured, that means we've still got no recognised left back because Malacia is still injured. Luke Shaw, if he has gone off injured again, is a big blow going forward, because we won't be able to have that left back bombing down the opposition's left-hand side in the left back position for Luke Shaw to provide crosses and assists from the left back position. And I think bringing Victor Lindelof on, that backfired massively. I think Victor Lindelof playing at right back compared to him playing at right back, I think Diego Dalot and Victor Lindelof really, in my view, should have switched positions in that second half, because clearly that wasn't working today. Victor Lindelof at left back is a disaster waiting to happen. That Aston Villa front line were frightening the shit out of Victor Lindelof. Like, I've never rated Victor Lindelof. I don't think he's good enough. And playing him at left back, again, it clearly doesn't work, in my view. It doesn't work. We were so vulnerable from not having Luke Shaw there. And a lot of people know I'm a massive, massive critic of Luke Shaw. And I've never said this before, but we did miss him in that second half. We massively missed him in that first half. Lindelof was backfiring badly. I don't know why that sub was made, but if Luke Shaw's injured again, that is still no Malacia and no Luke Shaw and no Martinez. So again, you are back with Dalot, Maguire, Varane, and Lindelof. Because you can't even add Wan-Bissaka, because again, Wan-Bissaka is out injured. You can't put him at left back because he's not a traditional left back. He's a right back. So I think for me, what should have happened tactically was switch Dalot to left back and put Lindelof at right back, because Lindelof's a bit more comfortable playing there compared to Diego Dalot. I thought Dalot again today at right back defensively, he's poor, like piss poor in my view. And yes, fair play for him to putting in that cross for the Mctominay 85th minute winner, but that is as much as what he did today, because apart from that, what did Diego Dalot really do to contribute to that Man United performance except for that assist to get the winning goal for the cross? Apart from that, defensively, he's shocking. Going forward is horrific with his passing. Long range, poor as well. I just don't trust the back four. And that was a big problem for me in that second half because of missing Luke Shaw. We are quite clearly missing Martinez. We would not have conceded that goal if, Luke Shaw still carried on playing and Martinez was next to Varane. I don't think we concede that goal. I do not think we concede the goal. I think we keep a clean sheet. We find a 2-0 win and it's another 3 points. And like I said, I was gutted when the Villa equaliser went in. I was absolutely gutted because I thought to myself, same old United, same old story. We can't carry on this Premier League unbeaten run. We are too inconsistent. And again, we are still conceding goals, which again is down to the back four. But Onana's distribution today, again, is another talking point I think we've got to take forward. His distribution today is really poor. Like, I've never seen a goalkeeper waste so much time. A goalkeeper that's distribution levels with either foot is horrific. And we are trying to play out of the back every single time we get the ball. I don't think that works, preferably from my view. I think we need to be getting these moves happening a lot quicker than the pace we are trying to take the game at. And I know Manchester United are trying to kill time, and I get that. But at 2-1, there's still a chance Aston Villa find a late equaliser and the 3 points have gone yet again. Without Scott McTominay coming on, which again, so far is working a treat for Eric Ten Hag, coming on to score the winning goal. Thank God that worked, because some of the substitutions today, I really do not get. What annoyed me, we've got at the moment, our best front three. Well, apart from Marcus Rashford, because again today, he's trying to be a bit of a superhero, trying to do everything on his own, trying to take on the Aston Villa back four and try and create chances for himself. And I think for me, he's being a bit selfish with the ball. I think since the Wolves game, he got that goal. Again, what's happened to Rashford? Again, pretty much useless again today, going forward with the ball. And in the second half, he gets in beyond the Villa back four and he's 1-on-1 with Martinez. But the shot he had could put no power, no finesse on it. And it was basically just a roll shot for Martinez to easily pick up in the Villa penalty area. And I think if Rashford would have been done a little bit better, maybe, again, we could have had the second goal early on, then the Villa momentum and the Villa fight back is potentially killed off. So I think today a lot has to be said about the front three. And what substitution, this is the sub I don't get, because our front three was causing problems. Our front three was causing that Villa back four nightmare after nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. And I thought to myself, this can't get any worse if we take one of these three off. But we did. We took Rashford off for Scott McTominay, which I really did not get, because the front three were causing that Villa back four nightmares. And I thought surely one of the front three will surely get in another chance or get another goal to get this result over the line and to get Manchester United the 3 points. I didn't get the Scott McTominay sub. Like, I think bringing Scott McTominay on for Marcus Rashford, I didn't get that. But I think the sub was made because I think Eric Ten Hag could see that midfield was getting overrun. And it was today. That midfield was shocking beyond belief. I thought Casemiro picks up an early stupid yellow card for not making a foul, which it wasn't even a foul. He shouldn't have been booked anyway. The referee has had an absolute stinker of a game in the Premier League. It wasn't even a yellow card. Casemiro doesn't touch the player, doesn't make the foul, doesn't make any contact, picks up a needless yellow card for the tackle, which he didn't even do. And I thought, was way off it today. I thought that was a surprise. I thought Casemiro was way off the pace. And I think you can add Bruno Fernandes into that equation as well. I don't think Bruno had his best game today. I think his distribution, some of the passing, some of his set pieces, again, was absolutely piss poor. I think playing short corners all the time, again, doesn't really work. I don't know why we were piss-assing about doing short corner after short corner after short corner. Not just in the first half, but in the second half as well. And I think, you know what? A bit of a surprise to me. I thought Kobbie Mainoo today was way off it. I thought Kobbie Mainoo had a really bad game today. I think leave it out there. I thought Kobbie Mainoo, to be fair as well, was really, really nowhere near. And I'm a big fan of Kobbie Mainoo, but I think today in that midfield was getting found out. And I think it was getting overrun. Our midfield was pants at times. It was getting overrun eventually in that second half by John McGinn, Douglas Luiz, and even bringing Tielemans on. He's always going to be a threat. The ex-Leicester City player has done very, very well under Unai Emery at Aston Villa, is now scoring goals as well. And I think Ten Hag had to respond to it because he could see that midfield was getting tired. That midfield was getting really, really ran off its heels. And I thought, maybe bring one of the three off we've got on. But to bring McTominay off from Rashford, you've got to thank you've got to thank God that it worked, because if that backfires again and we only get a point, you've got to criticise the substitutions. You've got to look at thinking, why was that sub made? And what I would have done, I probably would have bring off Mainoo and brought maybe. Obviously, McTominay was going to come on anyway. McTominay for Mainoo. Kept Fernandes in his preferred position and kept Casemiro where he was. But to bring Rashford off for McTominay and then to put Bruno onto the right, again, I can't understand why we're putting Bruno Fernandes on the right wing. I can't really justify why we are playing players out of position. I think they've got to put their players in where they're playing. You can't put players in and out of position every week because it doesn't work. And again, with a bit of an annoying problem, again, which I'm spotting a lot of, is that we are carrying on putting Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the right, and then they're integrating. So then Garnacho's going on to the left and then Rashford's going on to the right. That ain't working. That clearly is not working. The sub I would have made off is brought Mainoo off McTominay, Rashford brought off for maybe Ahmad or Antony, put Garnacho back on the left, keep Rasmus down the middle, and then brought Ahmad or Antony on the right. I mean, how many games now has Ahmad not been used? When we have got a right wing problem and we are putting Garnacho on the right, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, those three at the moment are massively, massively undroppable. I think the only one that comes to an equation, I could have dropped both Garnacho and Rashford off at half-time. I could have dropped both of them, if I'm being really, really honest and quite frank about it. I would have dropped both of them in that second half because I don't think either of them in that first half contributed a lot. I thought going forward, our best option's Højlund. And you've got to thank him as well for finding United that early lead, because if this goes 0-0 at half-time, you're going to think to yourself, where are United finding the goal from? Where are Manchester United really going to get that lead? Because if Aston Villa do take this into nil at half time, the confidence of Man United and the morale is going to be really low because they're going to think to themselves, well, where's the goals coming? And again, it's a big problem. There is a lack of goals in the team. And I still think there is a striking problem because we are relying on Rasmus Højlund every week. And if we lose him, we've then got no striker. So you can't then put Rashford down the middle, Garnacho on the left, and Ahmad or Antony on the right because Rashford's not a striker. So United have got a bit of a problem there. So I think the subs were a joke. I wouldn't have put Fernandes on the right because he ain't a right winger, Eric. I'm sorry. This is what annoys me. This is the only slight little niggle that annoys me about Ten Hag. He plays players at a position that are not comfortable there and are not used to playing there. So again, I can't really understand why we're doing that. And I think United really need to play to their strength. Is keep these players in the position they're playing in, which will make them a bit more adaptable during the game. And from the midfield, yes, it was getting overrun, and I completely justify it was. I think that is why we try to bring Mctominay on for Rashford, but I wouldn't have put Bruno on the right or on the left because he ain't a left and right winger. So there was options off the bench. Maybe Antony isn't the player he used to be, which we all know. Maybe Ten Hag does not rate Ahmad. Again, that could be a big problem. Maybe Ten Hag just doesn't rate Ahmad. Maybe he thinks we ain't good enough. But he's not really been given a chance. I would like to see Ahmad be given that chance to be able to see what he could do on the right, because maybe if you do that, maybe a lot more chances would get converted from the right wing distribution. Because again, Højlund today is starved of service again. I think our crossing ability on the box is really poor, not just with high crosses into the box, but with low crossing into the box as well. I think we are starving our striker for chances. And if we don't get the 1-0 lead, we aren't winning this game. And I knew Aston Villa were going to come out fighting in that second half. I knew they were going to come fighting because they're only 1-0 down. They've got nothing to lose. And they are going to be absolutely pressing Man United back even more in the second half. And they deserve the equaliser, by the way. They did deserve their equaliser. They were the better team by absolute miles. Man United were way off. If Luke Shaw wouldn't have gone off injured and put Lindelof at left back, that goal ain't happening. That is where I think that second half was getting lost for United. Because we've got no traditional left back, United have got no balance in that back four. And if Luke Shaw is injured again, then again, that is a big problem. Because if that injury is bad, I'm not saying it is, but what if it's a bad injury and he's out for weeks? You can't put Lindelof there because he ain't a left back. We ain't got no Wan-Bissaka. We ain't got no Malaysia. So you've got to really consider yourself, where's the balance? We're fucked without Martinez anyway. That's Wan-Bissaka and Shaw and Malaysia. So the back four's unbalanced. So you can't really put anyone else there because they've sent their youngster Alvaro Fernandes to Benfica on loan. So basically, the midfield is going to be heavily reliant on, again, to keep that back four from getting problems. And again, that is where the vulnerability was that whole second half. They were targeting Lindelof, Bailey, Diaby. They were getting in behind United so damn easy in that second half. And I thought, first half, we were pretty much rock solid. We were pretty solid throughout that first half. We were a really solid, balanced team. We were dominating Aston Villa. I never made it look so easy. I expected Aston Villa to come out from the starting blocks and absolutely hamper Manchester United. I expected Villa to go for this. But there's something not upright at Villa. There's clearly something not right. And I'm happy they've lost. I am friends with Villa fans, and I respect them. I've got a lot of respect that they support Villa. I respect that they're their club, and I respect their views, and I respect their opinions. But today, Aston Villa just don't look like a team that I've seen all season. It doesn't. Man United were pestering them all game. The first half, it could have been over if Garnacho would have found the goal. If, Højlund would have taken another chance, if Rashford would have taken a chance. We had so many chances to put Villa to the sword. I expect Unai Emery to do what he did last season. Remember when he took over at Villa? The first game, new manager bounce, Aston Villa battered us. So we have got our revenge. We have got our revenge because we've got the win today. We've got the result. But Man United are making this look a lot harder for themselves. They need to start putting their chances away. We need to start converting a bit more than what we're doing. And if we do that, the life of a Man United fan is going to become a lot more easy, a lot more stress-free. If Man United play the football I think we're capable of. And I think United today, I mean, if Mctominay does not find that header to head in the winner, this ends in a draw. I would say forget top four, forget Champions League football. That ain't happening. It was going to be a very, very much different match reaction and final score, which I was planning to do because I expected this end in a draw. I thought so. I look at the way we're playing. I look at the second half response from Villa. I thought Man United had no chance. I thought, honestly, the way I'm looking at this, Villa are trying to play for a point. They are trying to play from a point. And what I think went wrong then, as soon as the Aston Villa Man United winner went in through McTominay, Unai Emery fucking lost it. He absolutely lost it. He took off. Kamara, obviously, was getting dominated in the air for the first goal for Maguire to get Højlund for the assist for Højlund's goal. John McGinn took him off, brought Tielemans on, took Bailey off. I think Unai Emery lost it when Villa went behind because I don't think he expected Manchester United to find a winner. I think they was trying to get Villa a point today. I don't think Villa tried to win that game. I don't think Villa really, after they got the equaliser, Man United came out and were battering them again. Villa got the goal and it's like, we don't know what to do now. Are we playing for a point? Are we trying to play for a win? Are we just going to take the draw? Or are we going to take another defeat? But United again came out the firing blocks and they were battering them. Absolutely battering them. I don't know what Villa's mindset was today, but those players look shot under Unai Emery now. They look absolutely shot. I don't know why Villa are playing the way they are. I don't know why all of a sudden Villa have gone a lot more backwards again after 2 games. Since Sheffield United, that is 2 big defeats in a row. Out the FA Cup, losing 3-1 to Chelsea, losing to Manchester United. We've done the double over Villa, which is brilliant. 6 points out of 6. Fantastic. I thought Villa would have built on the Sheffield United result. If they beat Chelsea midweek in the FA Cup, this game's going to be tough. I expected a tough game today. I thought this is going to be too much today. There's going to be too much pressure, too much for Manchester United. The quality I know Villa have got is going to shine through. I thought, their midfield is providing goals and providing assists for their strikers. Their defence is probably one of their biggest stumbling blocks. And I think for me, again, I think the Villa front three needs to be questioned. Ollie Watkins has massively been carrying them. Let's not beat around the bush. They've got no other striker because Duran is out injured. They've got no other striker. Diaby is in and out of that team all of a sudden under Unai Emery now. And at the start of the season, Diaby looked like a quality signing. And in the last few days, last few weeks, Diaby's been nowhere near the starting 11. No, not even being used off the bench. And as a cameo, he only got 15, 20 minutes, which again is a bit of a joke from a quality player that has, left a Bayern Leverkusen team that is top of bloody the Bundesliga, 5 points clear of Bayern Munich and battered Bayern Munich 3-0 yesterday. Maybe I would have stayed at Bayern Leverkusen knowing this is the season they're going to have because they could win the German title this season. They could win it. No one else except Dortmund or Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga, and Bayern Leverkusen, if they would have kept hold of the RB, Champions League football, Bundesliga title, that could have been a big succession, a big success rate if Diaby would have stayed put. But obviously Villa were desperate. Maybe they should have put Diaby out on the left and maybe Bailey on the right and integrated them. But again, Villa ain't got no left winger. They ain't got no Buendia, which is not a big miss in my view. Buendia ain't good enough. But Diaby and Bailey, I thought Bailey was going to be a nightmare. I really rate Leon Bailey. I'm a massive fan of the player. But now, today, pocketed him. Absolutely pocketed him. Maguire, Shaw, pocketed him. But in the second half, Lindelof comes on. It goes tits up for United defensively. That's the only three problems I've got today. The substitution for Mctominay for Rashford, when it really should have been Ahmad or Antony that comes on. Mainoo or Casemiro goes off for Mctominay. The Lindelof substitution for Luke Shaw, obviously this potentially can't be prevented. If it's an injury, you've got to take him off and not run the risk of even further injuring Luke Shaw even more. And I think, again, today, the lack of service towards Rasmus Højlund. United, at the moment, look like a dominant team that are playing good football, good attacking football, but are still getting the starve from Rasmus. He could have had more today if Garnacho and Rashford would have got him more of the ball. And I'm proud of Rasmus Højlund. A lot of people have shut their mouth now. A lot of pundits, a lot of critics. There is so many people now that have gone massively, massively quiet. They don't want to go in on him now. And they're worried that United have probably paid the right amount fee to bring him to the club. 11 goals this season, 5 games, 5 goals in a row. Gets the 1-0 lead for United. If we build on that, this game's done. I didn't see Villa responding in that second half the way they played in that first half. They deserved to be booed off. Villa were dreadful in that second half. Their substitutions for Unai Emery tactically was a joke. But I thought that was bad from Villa. I thought that was really, really bad today. That is 2 bad defeats under Unai Emery, but I'm not going to complain because we've won today and I'm really happy because we have got winnable games in our next 2. We've got winnable games now. And I believe this team's turning it around. This season could be a success. It really, really could because I'm still, trying to regain the trust. I'm still trying to believe in the players. I'm still trying to, get back that I can trust them to deliver. I'm getting there slowly but surely. I'm not going to, jump to conclusions and say we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We've got to be realistic. We've got to be firm. We've got to be honest but truthful. If we have to be brutal at times, obviously be brutal, but also be respectful and be honest about your view and your opinion, which is obviously the main thing. But we are turning a corner. We're unbeaten this year. 5 wins in a row, 5 games unbeaten, 3 Premier League wins in a row. If someone would have said that in February to me that United would go 5 games unbeaten, 3 Premier League wins in a row, I wouldn't have believed you. Because I would have looked at our fixtures, I would have looked at our results, and I would have thought to myself, where's this coming from? Where are we playing this football? Where are the goals coming from? Where's the service going to get to Højlund to score goals? Are we going to have a fully fit team? Because again, if that's Luke Shaw added to Martinez and Wan-Bissaka, Malassia is still there. Mount is still there. So that's still 5 players out injured. So the United injury problems still ain't gone. The United injury problems are still very, very much there. Let's hope we don't add any more to that list because if we start losing players again, these results might dip. This might start going backwards again. But I'm confident now we can end the season on a high. 3 Premier League wins in a row. Villa, didn't expect to beat them. Really didn't. West Ham, I didn't expect to beat them, which we did. And, let's keep this up. I think man of the match today, I think a lot of people are going to go for Scott McTominay, which I'm going to as well. I'm also going to give it to Rasmus Højlund. I think without those 2 goals today, United don't win this game. We don't get 3 points. We don't get 3 wins in a row in the league. We don't go 5 games unbeaten in all competitions this year. We're so far unbeaten, which is massive, massive progress for Manchester United under Erik ten Hag. Top 4 is still on, people. Champions League football is still very, very much alive. And I'm believing now. I'm starting to believe again. I'm starting to have the confidence again. And let's hope we can keep this up. Let's hope and pray that Man United now can keep this form up, keep these wins up, keep scoring the goals we need. Because if we get Champions League football, that's a success. If we can win the FA Cup as well, that's a double success. A trophy, Champions League football again. Let's see if Man United can keep this up. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hit the like button and the share button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video. Hit the tweet button. Hit the retweet button. And remember to always remember notification bell. You put the bell on at all times so you receive dedicated brand new content of videos, shorts, live streams coming up right throughout 2024 on this channel. We'll still be doing Fortnite, Rocket League, EA Sports FC24, Fall Guys, F1 23, F1 24 will be out this year as well. EA Sports FC 25 will be out this year. We've now got Avatar, The Frontiers of Pandora. We'll be doing a cup story mode adventure with my mate Jordan. Massive shout out to him as well. We'll also be doing Call of Duty as well, which I'm really looking forward to. And then obviously our next Premier League preview will be in the early hours of Friday eve morning for Man United's next Premier League away game, which is away to Rob Edwards, Luton Town at Kenilworth Road. Manchester United's first ever visit to Luton in Premier League football history. Look out for that preview in the early hours of Friday morning for match day 25 of the 23-24 Premier League season. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Be nice. Be kind to each other. You're all legends. You're all legendary. Thanks for all the support, kindness and love and dedication you all show me. You're all a great, great community. You're a great, great bunch of people who have got amazing futures, amazing careers ahead of each and every single one of you. And yeah, 3 wins in a row in the league, 5 games unbeaten, top 4, and Champions League football is still mathematically alive for Manchester United. And all I've got to say is, da 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 da, Scott McTominay, 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 da 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 da, Scott McTominay, da 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 da, Scott McTominay, da 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 da, Scott McTominay. See you on the next one.